Hey guys, welcome to another video, and this is going to be my October TBR video. So if you know my channel, you know that I don't usually do TBRs, but I feel like I've been slacking a lot with how much I've been reading this year, and I'm hoping that maybe creating TBRs will help in that. So we're going to trial it this month, and hopefully it will actually help me. So as well this October, I'm not going to be reading many horror or scary or Halloween kind of books. I want to stick to things that are more atmospheric, some things that are more autumnal, things like that. This is just because I have watched so much horror this year already in terms of like movies, TV shows, games, that I'm just kind of horrored out in October of all months. But I want something that's more like cozy autumn, I guess, rather than scary. So let's go on to my TBR pile. So the first book I definitely want to get to in October is my #1 most anticipated read of the entire year, and that is The Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read this. It is a sequel to Strange the Dreamer, which was one of my top books of last year and also one of my all-time favourite books. So naturally the sequel I am dying to read. So this series so far has just been so magical, and the writing has been some of the best I've read of any fantasy book. I think that Laini Taylor is absolutely incredible and I'm so excited. So I have been so patient with not trying to read this because I've been waiting for my boyfriend's copy to get to him in the mail so that we can buddy read it together, but his finally came in today, so hopefully we can start reading it tonight and I cannot wait. The next book I'm planning to read in October is the book that I am currently reading, and that is Dragon's Green by Scarlett Thomas. So I believe this is a middle grade fantasy and it has got some high praise. Both Neil Gaiman and Philip Pullman have said that it's amazing and original and all this sort of stuff, so I cannot wait to get into it more. So it sounds like it's got something to do with her travelling to a new world through books and all kinds of things. So far into it, there was this massive world quake that got rid of technology and internet and all kinds of things, and I can't seem to get it back. So it's really interesting, and I do feel that it's quite original, so I really cannot wait to finish it. And I plan on reading Chainbreaker by Tara Sim. So this is a book that I have been putting off, even though I am incredibly excited to read it. I feel like I have a pile of books that in my head I'm prioritizing because they're like the ones I'm most excited to read, and yet I never get to them. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, Chainbreaker is the sequel to Timekeeper, which is a super adorable Victorian steampunk fantasy LGBT, so adorable, amazing adventure, and I cannot wait to be back in this world and be back with these characters. So I love this story. It's all about like magical clocks and mechanisms and spirits, and there's romance in it, and it's just so cute. So the third book in this trilogy is actually going to be coming out soon, I think like early next year or something, and I'm really excited for it, but at the same time I haven't read the sequel yet, and I want to be able to read it before the third one comes out because I don't want to have both the books and not have read the sequel and all of that kind of stuff, so I need to read it. But yeah, I am very looking forward to this. I really cannot wait to get back into it to see where the story is going to go, and I will be happy to have crossed it off my TBR list finally. Then the next book is the only like Halloween horror kind of spooky book that I plan on reading this October, and that is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. So this is a book that I will also be reading with my boyfriend because we recently this year binge watched like the entire of American Horror Story, and after watching the like circus theme season we were just really in the mood to read this particular book because it's just wonderful. So this is set around the time of Halloween. It's all like about a dark carnival and it's very circus vibes, and of course it's very autumnal because it is Ray Bradbury. So I'm very excited to get back into some modern Gothic literature. I love Ray Bradbury so much and I'm very excited to read this. Then the next book on my TBR is Our Dark Duet by V.E. Schwab. So ideally right now I would be reading Vengeful by Schwab, but I don't physically own it yet, which I'm very sad about. So I cannot read the Vicious sequel, but at some point I will when I eventually get it. The reason I picked Our Dark Duet for this month is that I recently started playing Final Fantasy 15, and so I'm just really in the mood for like the Final Fantasy atmosphere and aesthetic, and I really feel like the Monster of Verity duology is quite like that. So I read this Savage Song earlier this year, which is the first in this duology, and I thought that was really great. I loved the characters, the idea, and I loved the atmosphere and the aesthetic. so much, so I think that is perfect for this kind of mood that I'm in. It would be also good to knock out another one of my Schwab books from my TBR because I feel like her books are kind of taking over my TBR at the moment, but I don't mind because I love her so much and I'm very, very excited to get this series done. Then the next book I would like to read is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. So this is a Greek mythology retelling, and it's all about the girls that were taken during the siege of Troy and how they viewed Achilles as this monster, brutal, you know, killing machine kind of person rather than the hero that he's always portrayed to be. So the reason I slipped this in was just because I thought it would give me a break from all of my fantasy, you know, to have some Greek mythology in there, and I'm dying to read this, so it definitely needs to go into my October TBR. Okay, so the last book on my TBR is where it starts to get a little bit ridiculous because after I've read all of these, I plan on reading Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So one of my reading goals for this year was to read this book, and it is October. I still haven't picked it up, but I feel like reading this at the end of October will be good because then we're going into November, which is like winter is coming, so it's the right time to read it. So I've been really craving reading this. I'm definitely in this kind of mood right now for this fantasy, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I mean, it's been so long since I've been, you know, since I saw this book and wanted to read it, but now hopefully it's gonna happen. Okay, so those are all the books that I plan on reading in October. Hopefully I get to them all. That would be super great if I did. I mean, hopefully there's a good mix there. I mean, we've got like Halloween stuff, we've got Greek mythology, we've got Victorian, we've got medieval fantasy. So if that doesn't satisfy myself to read this TBR, then there's no hope. So yes. So let me know what you guys are going to be reading in October, and also if you have read any of these books, and tell me if you liked them or didn't like them or anything like that. So I will leave information about all of these books down below in the description box, along with my Instagram and Goodreads if you would like to follow me there for more bookish updates. So I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing October, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!